GG33 production, and today I got my crypto experts all the way from Las Vegas. Miguel, Charlie, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Gary? Long time no see.
Yeah, a couple weeks. Anyways, guys, listen, man. Crypto's on the move. Tell us why Bitcoin jumped 10% and then it got pulled back today.
So we had Cointelegraph. Somebody at Cointelegraph basically say that the ETF was passed by the SEC, and there are so this is kind of something we've been waiting for the ETF to pass for a really long time now. I mean, years and years and years. And the reason that it's so exciting is because it finally lets retirement money and kind of this passive 401k money into the space. Doesn't mean that all of it jumps in. It just means that like people can start having a position in it. But because it's so much money, it's been this big pool of money that's been evading the crypto space for a long time now.
It jumped 10% in 10 minutes, bro. That's a lot of money, bro.
Yeah.
We're talking about billions at that point to move fucking something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the crazy thing, and this is what's so important about like the limited supply of coins, or just like not like these large, because Bitcoin's mostly traded in like the spot market and stuff, even though there is like futures and there is like all these other kind of properties for Bitcoin. $1 doesn't equal $1, even though that doesn't make sense. But if you bought $1 billion of Bitcoin, it isn't like the market cap increases just $1 billion. It increases like exponentially more and stuff like that. So when you start having
much money would you need to move Bitcoin at this point in time? 10%. What are we talking about? 15 bill. Around what area?
Yeah, in a short period of time, and then it would have to be bought off like specific exchanges and stuff when you run out their supply or something like that.
Usually, so like Coinbase and Binance, they had over 1 million Bitcoin on their exchange in the last bull market, right? That's how much they were holding. Now they have less than 500,000 Bitcoin. On their exchanges.
It's a lot of Bitcoin.
It's a lot of
it's a lot out of how much Bitcoin that
21 million, right?
21 million in total over time, but 19 million and 19.5 million coins that are currently in circulation. So like of the let's say the two biggest centralized exchanges in the world, Binance and Coinbase, right, have a million or actually less than 1 million coins, whereas in the last bull market they had way more. They're the ones who are selling to the institutions, right? Mainly Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, these types of companies. And so Michael Saylor and Elon Musk, they're the ones who have bought enough to move the price in this way, right? And so the news today was just enough to get a wick up. So half a day it moved. And then since it was false news, a lot of people sold off as well.
Yeah, obviously.
So it's $65 million.
So someone was lying like Biden.
Sorry?
Someone was lying like Biden.
Oh, exactly. Cointelegraph. But
they're under investigation now.
Yeah. But the last time
so what prevents someone making up something, making sure the price goes up, then selling, having all that fucking money they just made?
Yeah.
What stops people from doing that?
Nothing outside of just whoever has control of the account that they're tweeting from and stuff, or reporting on and stuff.
So what we were asking each other in the car on the way here, right, was Bloomberg reported this as well as Cointelegraph reported this.
Right.
So did they report it together in a manipulation attempt together, or is Cointelegraph just stupid?
Is there any consequences for this whatsoever?
No.
Probably, maybe someone gets fired. Maybe.
Wow.
So one person gets fired.
Basically, you're telling me these companies are just like women; they're unaccountable.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Outstanding.
$65 million of people's money was liquidated from this move.
Yeah.
So that's a whole lot of cheddar, you guys.
But that being said, so if it was both Cointelegraph and Bloomberg, right, they would want to pump the price.
Right.
Or sorry, they would want to pump the price in order to sell because they think the price is going to dump. That's if they're smart. If they're dumb, which somebody at Cointelegraph could just be an idiot, right? And they want to make money for themselves, right? But it's not like a huge coordinated move. They could be like, hey, we're going to say this, and then when it comes back down to the price where it started, we'll buy it back again. We'll make a VIG here. So I would lean more towards that, where it's like just a smaller group of people.
How many people in the crypto space have power like that they can move something with false news 10%?
So the news organizations, there's not that many, right? There's Cointelegraph, and then there's CoinDesk.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. And so those two, they can push news any way they want, and then enough people that have legitimacy will take it on and tweet it out right away because they want to be the first, and they don't go and double check those sources because they assume those sources will be correct. But they're kind of run like what do you call it? Junior news organizations.
Right.
You know, they're not as professional as like a Bloomberg.
Okay. Let me say two things. Number one, about Kick. This has been my first pod on Kick since I announced that I think Kick is going back in time. They passed new rules, new guidelines. They're basically a Twitch 2.0 now. You can pretty much get suspended for anything. So, again, if I can't say certain words on this platform, F you, Eddie, I don't give a fuck. Okay? So you want to get rid of me, I don't give a fuck. Okay? I'll just go straight to Rumble. All right? And the problem with Rumble is the Tates don't like me. So I you know what? I don't care because at the end of the day, this isn't my forte. My forte is getting billions of views on IG and TikTok and all the other shit. So I don't give a fuck, Eddie. Okay. Now that I mentioned that, now I got some serious questions for you. Since the start of Bitcoin, there have been some wallets that had 500 million Bitcoins in them, 250,000, and they've never moved. Nothing has ever moved out those wallets. Tell me who has patience like that besides the federal government.
People who don't want to get arrested by the federal government. or thrown in political prisons, you know.
Or they're dead.
Okay, so okay, they're dead, whatever. Let's be more realistic.
Okay.
There's accounts with a lot of Bitcoins that from day one have never moved one coin. What is your explanation, guys?
So the earliest money is all Satoshi Nakamoto, right? And
if he even exists.
If it exists, yeah. I mean,
there's a group of people.
It's a group.
He's kind of like Jesus now for Bitcoiners, right?
Correct.
Yes.
That is actually correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is the thing about crypto. Some people won't agree with this, but they're wrong. But it's like crypto. It's true. They're fucking wrong. Crypto is basically a stock mixed in with the sports team with a religion, and this is kind of the beautiful thing about it is like when you're in a sports team, right? Your sports team wins, fuck yeah, they won, and that's it, right? With this, your sports team wins, you make a lot of money,
right?
So this is why people get really not cult-like, but they get very close to cult-like in terms of because it's like, how dare you go against the family? Because you're hurt. Like if everyone's buying our coin, that means everyone in our family gets rich. And that's kind of like how people are like.
Don't you have to sell it to get money out?
Exactly, you do, but there's this kind of this whole thing where like over time you're selling slowly and stuff, and like
it's an asset.
It's an asset, and this is kind of. But the thing is like when guys from equities look at things like cryptos like this, they're like, you see, it's a Ponzi, right? But it's the same thing with stocks in a way because it's all supply and demand. If people aren't buying, it's Ricky Bobby. If you ain't winning, if you're not winning, you're losing, right?
Or not bust your last.
And by the way, I'm a winner. I'm 42-24 against the NFL line.
I saw that.
Within 6 weeks. People can say that shit's haram all they want. I win. Only losing is haram. Sorry, I had to cut you off for a second.
Hey, congratulations on the parlays, though.
Hey, he had the Minnesota Vikings. I'm
Not
surprised you
I was your little faith.
I could go 1-13 as long as Minnesota wins. He's good. Bro, that never happened.
I almost spent my drink when I saw the Jets.
Yeah, right.
I didn't bet the Jets.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, but to answer your question a little bit, like the two people that really to focus on for that original Bitcoin, because the first 3, 6, or 9 months that Bitcoin existed, there weren't any other people mining it, just Satoshi. And then the guy who came on the quickest to the network is a guy named Hal Finney.
Yeah.
He died from, I think, Lou Gehrig's disease or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And,
what year was that?
Mid 2020s, so like 2015 or 2013, somewhere in there. Because by 2013, so what's his name? Gavin Andreessen, who is a top developer outside of Satoshi that was vocal in the Bitcoin chats. Gavin Andreessen said, hey, Satoshi, his last email to him was, I'm going to go and give a talk to the FBI about basically, how Bitcoin works. Satoshi was never seen again, right? And so my theory on this,
let's hear this,
is that Satoshi is a group of people.
Right.
One of those people is a guy named Adam Back. Right. He's a guy in Britain, and the first, he's the guy who created proof of work, which is the algorithm behind Bitcoin for its mining, right? And then a guy named Nick Szabo, who lives here in Florida, he's a guy that basically made it so you can't spend Bitcoin twice. Those two guys, plus maybe a handful of others, And they were just like, okay, if we touch that, then authorities are going to come and look towards us. So we just dip out here, right? And then they go, instead of making their money off of selling that Bitcoin, they make their money off of knowing exactly what makes Bitcoin tick. And they go and build. So Nick Szabo, he's a little bit more quiet. But Adam Back, he did go out and build a company called Blockstream, which allows Bitcoin to be transacted globally through satellites so that you can never take it down if the internet went down or anything like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the internet goes down, Bitcoin is still good because of satellites?
Yeah, you got the satellite network. You can also technically send Bitcoin through ham radio, which is kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Excuse me? Ham radio?
Yeah.
The fuck is that?
Ham radio is basically an old way that people used to communicate during like World War II and stuff like this.
How do you send Bitcoin through a radio? I mean, this is something I haven't heard before.
So you basically have to, through the radio waves, the person receiving has to like specifically get to the tuned frequency and understand, okay, I'm going to be receiving Bitcoin. So you can't just send it to an address and then the network's not going to confirm it. So the person receiving it has to be like, okay, so I'm going to get this feed, right? I just have to decrypt like the information that's coming through in terms of like letters and numbers.
Yeah.
For the
And then you
address.
just put it in. I guess.
Then you just put it in the computer and then confirm it, and then
I want to see you do that live. I want to see you do that live.
We can get into
I'm going to send you somebody through the goddamn radio. I want to see that transaction, brother.
there's a Google it. There's a transaction done between Toronto to San Francisco that way. Back in, I think,
Rainbow
it was 2019.
transaction.
Yeah.
A rainbow transaction.
Hey.
Maybe for goods and services.
Right.
But I did like your tweet earlier today. It says, buy ETH, don't ask me questions, brokey.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
That's
I mean,
100%.
I've always liked Ethereum. I still think Ethereum at some point is going to overtake Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You guys are big on Ethereum. I mean, my other guy who I trust, Big House, shout out to him. He's big on Ethereum, so I don't see how that thing can go wrong.
Exactly. And so it's just taking advantage of it while the price is cheap right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a nice move on it. It's back down again, which is perfect.
Yep.
I mean, that's the whole thing too. It's like you forget, like when you have a big, like when prices like right now, like if you don't buy, you're like, oh, 1,500. Dude, I don't know. It's kind of expensive right now. That's what people are thinking.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 4,500 not too long ago?
Yep, yeah.
What the fuck?
So that's what I'm saying. It's like in a moment, it could be $3,000, and it won't go back to 1,500 ever.
Yeah. What I
You
would
don't
say.
think it'll ever go back to 15? That's a strong statement.
That's what's trying. It's very well. Let's see,
Go back to what price?
to $1,500
Give a percentage, because I think that's the best way to do it instead of saying indefinitely.
indefinitely. Yeah, like more like so. If we look at Ethereum, right, it topped out at $4,800, and it went down as low, depending on exchanges and stuff. It went as low maybe as like $780, $800, right? So it went from $4,800 down to, let's just call it $800. So on this next run, if we get a higher price, like let's just say, even if we have a very bad all-time high of $8,000, maybe we end up getting $12,000 or $14,000. That means the price will only go down so low. So we're talking about maybe it might just go as low as maybe like $2,200, maybe $2,500.
Give me a percentage. Let's start with you, Charlie. Of what percentage do you believe that Ethereum will 100% be 10,000 within so many years? Ethereum.
So I'll give the time, right? So I'll give it until the end of 2025. If it's going to hit within the next couple of years, that would be the latest it would do that, right? So end of 2025, likelihood of Ethereum hitting $10,000, I would say is like, for my analysis and my information, my opinion is 90 to 95%.
Yeah.
And you?
The only thing that hesitates me from going that high is maybe just geopolitics or just some black swan event. Something bad happens, right?
Yeah, because the only reason why I'm putting it that high is because of the Bitcoin spot ETF.
Yeah.
Is now virtually guaranteed to go through. That's going to bring trillions of dollars into the market. So that alone will pump Ethereum as well.
Correct.
But then Ethereum just got a futures ETF. If Bitcoin got a spot ETF, I think within 2 years, it's very likely Ethereum could get a big spot ETF as well.
For Ethereum, yeah.
If that happens towards the end of the bull market, let's say early to mid 2025, holy shit, bro, the price will get.
Do you want to hear where the price could go if that happens?
Let's hear it.
$27,000.
You're making people wet.
That's with the Ethereum ETF.
Yeah,
if it passes.
I have like a worst case scenario in terms of like the prices have really been suppressed. Better than a good, better, best. So my worst case scenario is like $8,000 Ethereum, right? This cycle by the end of 2025.
You're saying 100% it gets to 8,000.
99.9%.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too.
Okay.
Yeah, and then 10,000 to 12,000, right? That would be my good level.
Yeah.
My better level, which would be like, okay, this is with the spot Ethereum ETF, 18 to 20,000, basically the same level that Bitcoin went to at the end of 2017.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's a big psychological level right there.
Yeah, psychologically, I think people would sell there. But if we go real fucking crazy and Bitcoin gets to like $170,000 or more, which I don't think is going to happen, but if it did, right, and then you got some other craziness in terms of like the general market is just up and they're printing a lot of money, then that $22,000 to $27,000 mark is technically possible, but it's the best, scenario case.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Let's go devil's advocate.
Okay.
What would have to happen for Ethereum and Bitcoin just to completely flatten out?
There's a lot of things that could happen, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, Satoshi moving his coins is one that could like start to
scare people.
U.S. government, you moving its coins.
The U.S. government, the U.S. government, I think, has like, I have to go back and look, but they don't have nearly as much as like centralized exchanges do.
They don't have 1 million.
No,
not even close.
Maybe 100,000.
They've sold off a lot actually through auctions in the past. So they could.
What right do these people have to take people's wallets and auction them off?
They don't.
Nothing.
They don't at all. It's fucking
Just
crazy.
Last time I talked to you guys, we talked about the top 10 cryptos, and you basically told me 3 of the top 10, USDC and a couple others. I believe what was it, Solana and another one. If the government wants you shut down, they will shut you down.
They'll shut you down.
What are those 3?
In terms of
USDC.
Solana,
and what's the other one? Tether.
Well, yeah, Tether can be shut down through Bitfinex.
Okay, so 3 of the top 10 cryptos, the government can shut you down for whatever they want.
Yeah, 2 are stable coins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
1's a cryptocurrency.
Right.
And Solana is probably the weakest centralized cryptocurrency, but its price is going to go up because of VC money.
It's just so much quicker than Ethereum.
Well, right, because it's off of one centralized exchange in Germany, or like one centralized server. So
right, in Germany,
yeah. You just throw like a ton of bricks at it and it goes down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Germans lost 2 wars. I still have to figure out how to explain to my kid how they lost 2 wars, but they're still running the EU. It's very interesting how that works, man.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm here for the French slander.
Well, we know none of us want to be in France, that's for sure.
That's right.
I think one of the funniest things I ever heard was they after Nazis invaded France, they said the French troops should have joined the Olympic Games because they were running so fucking fast from the
I believe that shit.
And I see nothing's changed. Nothing's actually changed. Guys, let me ask you a few more questions.
Sure.
What do you believe is the best privacy coin? Monroe's. I'm a big believer in Zcash.
Right.
What do you believe is the best privacy coin? Because let's be honest, we don't live in fucking China.
Right.
I don't feel comfortable with people going up, looking at my Bitcoin address and seeing everything I spent money on,
right,
who I sent. This isn't fucking China.
Yep.
So at some point, Americans are going to get sick of that shit too, at least in my assessment. What privacy coins do you recommend? Because that's going to be a big deal, at least in my opinion.
I mean, there's really only 2 competitors: Zcash and Monero.
Yep,
that's it.
There's no third one? I thought there was a third one.
There are, but they suck.
They kind of suck. There's secret network and stuff. They're a good privacy network.
Pirate chain.
Yeah, R and stuff like that. There is one that I'm hopeful for, but it's not going to be 100% privacy. But at least like Litecoin has Mimblewimble, and we'll update that. So it means like if you download a Mimblewimble wallet for Litecoin, you'll be able to pay people in Litecoin, and they can't tell your transactions. Okay. But on exchanges, the exchanges could. So
gotcha. There's a backdoor.
There's a backdoor, but it does allow you to like pay people without transcripts. That's kind of the fucked up thing is like I mean, you're paying employees, your employees, you don't want your employee to see how much money you have in your bank account. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, you got that much money? I don't think I should cut your salary. You're making too much. Some deal like that. So when I look at Monroe, I basically did some studying, and they basically, when they send money, they send like basically 10 signals, and one of them's correct, and the other ones are dummies. So that basically means you have a 10% chance of getting the right signal. So I don't really see it as that privacy, because any good hacker or any good, government agency could figure out what's going on. Now, Zcash, here's the interesting thing. So Zuko is the guy who created Zcash, and I've been shilling Zcash for a while. The guy blocked me.
What?
Really?
The guy who
the number one supporter.
Yeah, I like GG33 is like 4% of all the money in Zcash or something like that. Some ridiculous amount.
Wow.
I've been pushing it, and this guy blocks me, so no one can ever say I'm fucking shilling for money.
Right.
Okay, I don't do that, but I do believe Zcash is way more has a lot more privacy aspects than Monroe. I believe there's also a backdoor in Zcash.
Yeah, they say the same thing from Monero.
What do you think?
It's very possible. I think there's a backdoor in both of them. To tell you the truth.
I think Stanford, with the university, created Monero. I think there's a big.
Liberals created. There's a backdoor.
I think they did it.
There's a backdoor.
I think they did it as an experiment.
An experiment.
Yeah, and then they rolled it out to
the big one on Monero was basically saying that there was like a secret inflation that you can't really tell what the actual max supply is, but it looks like some of Monero coins were being printed and deposited into a different. You can't really. They're just like their speculation is basically that there is a bit of like secret printing, not a lot, but just a little.
Yep.
Because I remember when Monero wasn't that high in price, that a lot of the guys who were the big Monero dudes all were rocking like not Herman Millers. What do you call those? Richard Mills. We're like we're like rocking Richard Mills and all this other. Because like I saw these I saw streams with like all these founders, and then certain Monero guys were just like iced the fuck out. And I know the coin didn't really perform well until like really deep into 2017.
So it sounds like Zcash is a superior coin based on what you're saying.
Off of that, but the thing is, these things are almost used now like as utilities.
Yeah.
Like I hope because a lot of great technology came out of Zcash. It definitely did, But the thing is like I think there should be like updates and like burning. They have to add some extra tokenomics or buy and burns or something to the token to improve tokenomics, as well as like the one problem with like a lot of the privacy coins is they're not focusing just on price. I mean, recently you had one of their larger whales like completely capitulate, said I'm selling everything, and he's like he even sold his Zcash parachute.
Really?
Yeah, like I'll try to find it and stuff. I'll retweet it later on Twitter. But basically, yeah, it's we're close to capitulation on some things, but I am hopeful that he's able to turn it around because the tech's good. The tech is good.
Before I forget, how do people find you on Twitter and on IG? I'm assuming those are the two platforms you use.
Dollar Cost Crypto on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, everything. Yeah.
And you?
Cultivate Crypto on everything as well, mainly YouTube, Twitter.
Okay, YouTube. That's right. We do YouTube too. I keep forgetting about that.
Can I mention something in the chat?
Go ahead.
All right. So we got a guy named No Eggs in Sandwiches, which I highly disagree with that to begin with. Which, if you've ever had, an Egg McMuffin, it would just be a McMuffin without the egg, right? So, I mean, anyways.
At least you're giving them attention. I never give these people attention.
I think it's important. It's important to mention this because I think here's some math for this motherfucker, right? So Ethereum $2.5 trillion market cap by 2025 is retarded, he says.
Right.
Okay. So we're talking about good, better, best scenarios, right? So he did the math. So he's smart enough to do the math, right?
Yeah.
Which is that would be the market cap of Ethereum, let's say around $25,000 Ethereum.
Correct.
Right? But think about this. If we go to a $10 trillion market cap, gold is right now at $12 trillion market cap. Basically, the entire crypto space going from about $1 trillion market cap to a $10 trillion market cap, that is the best case scenario. Right? If we get anywhere near a $10 trillion market cap in the bull market, you will want to sell. So if you look at fib levels and different things on Bitcoin, it's highly likely that if we did extend up, we would go to about $9.5 trillion market cap. So we would just barely miss that.
Right.
But how much percent of the whole crypto market right now, of the $1 to $1.2 trillion market cap that we have right now, how much of that is Bitcoin? About 48 to 50%.
Yeah.
How much of that is Ethereum? About 18%. So Ethereum being a quarter of the market cap in the best case scenario of a $10 trillion market cap is not retarded.
Right.
It's extremely logical based on current information. So I'll just say that.
What's his market cap right now?
I'd have to look, but basically it is 18% of about 1.1 trillion.
Yeah, the market cap right now is 191 billion.
90,
Yeah, and Bitcoin's, whenever we get into a bull market, Bitcoin's...
That's nothing.
It's nothing.
I know.
And again, people are saying
Brandon.
like, whoa, that's $1 billion. Listen, I'll never have that type of money. But as individuals, that's a lot of money. For a collective,
It's not a lot.
that's not that much, guys. I mean, there's still plebs out here who think $1 million is a lot of money.
Right.
I got a room for you. You can't fucking rent this place here for a fucking bill. Okay, so what I'm basically trying to tell you is when you look at all these numbers, you're like, oh, wow. Let me tell you something. In 2008, Barack Obama and George Bush went to Congress to try to get $700 billion. And they had to fight like hell to get $700 billion. That was 15 years ago. We've given more to fucking Ukraine already.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to tell you. This inflation is going through the roof.
Yep.
So you better add a couple of zeros to what you fucking think is real money. Because I don't think $1 million is a lot of money. I don't think $10 million is a lot of money. Unless you got like 50 to 100 as an individual, you're not really a fucking real baller. And I don't have that type of money. These guys don't either. But guess what? We will.
So let me explain something to you guys as well, right? Like right now, the market cap of crypto right now is like $1.2 trillion. So if you take out Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Bitcoin and Ethereum, amazing cryptos, they're the blue chips, right?
Yes.
You take these out. The entire altcoin market is between $330 billion to $400 billion total.
What's that? Day in gold?
So there's companies on the S&P 500. There's like like I think Stripe might be worth more than all the altcoins in crypto right now. This is what I'm saying is like these numbers.
A criminal organization, by the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just like PayPal.
Especially like PayPal Mafia, right? But that's what I'm trying to tell you. There's companies out there, right? Like Apple's worth multiple times the entire crypto market cap right now. The entire thing, multiple times over. Saudi Aramco, don't even get me started, right? But if you actually look at this, right, this is how big of a wealth transfer it is. People owning a fraction of a percent of a coin in here, and this coin ends up just going up significantly. This is why this is the biggest wealth transfer in history, is because when these market caps increase, if you're in good cryptos, you end up getting such a large increase to your total wealth. It's insane. Like you'd be surprised. You think like, oh, I just own like 10% of a percent of a crypto, or like 1% of a 1% of a crypto, which is like nothing. It's like 0.0001% of the supply, and the token goes to like holy hell and back. That's life-changing money stuff. This should show you how much wealth that people at the top are keeping away from you on purpose, trying to keep you as slaves. And this is why this is so important. This entire industry has made, I know so many people that have changed their lives, that made like tens of millions of dollars, made their first 100,000, bought their first house, like changed their lives off this little fractional thing.
But there's also the flip side of the coin. A lot of people who put it in at the very top and lost everything. So let's keep it real.
Let's keep that's
it's
very
always
true.
both. There's a lot of people who invested in Bitcoin at 65K. That fucking lost a whole bunch of money. But obviously they weren't listening to you two.
Right. And
that's the point, guys.
But this is why we're preaching, and we're on here like trying to get you guys into crypto now, not 2 years from now. When you watch, one day you guys will hear this on the news. Bitcoin today crosses $100,000 for the first time ever, right? Like when you start hearing Bitcoin's crossed $100,000, and then the media machine goes, do you know that the first Bitcoin transaction ever was $10,000 for a pizza? That pizza today is worth fucking $10 billion. Would you pay $10 billion for a pizza? And what the news basically calls you an idiot when the prices are low, and then when the prices are high, you stupid idiot, why weren't you buying? Why weren't you buying? Ha ha ha. So the media is just trying to FOMO you in. They're trying to make you exit liquidity. We're trying to make sure that you exit.
Oh, me and
with liquidity.
Me and this man have a bet. I think Bitcoin gets to 99,000. He has and you have until when? November 2025?
Yeah, mid-November.
Mid-November 25. Okay.
I think you gave me a little leeway to the end of the year, but we'll go back and look at the clip.
Okay, everything's taped, man.
So here's my strategy.
I'm coming to get my money in November 16th.
I'm coming to get my money. See, here's my strategy on this.
I'm always going to count that 3 months before.
Here's my strategy on this, right? So I'm buying Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptos right now. When that passes $100,000, right, we start dollar cost averaging out. and then I get 20 extra K to play within the market if there's any like altcoin opportunities. This is going to be great.
So this is why I think it's going to happen. I think it gets to about 90, maybe 99, and as soon as these people are celebrating, it's going to be the same thing that happened in 217. They think it's going to the moon, and then whoop, boom. But regardless, we all believe it's going up.
Yes.
And this is just a friendly bet.
And right, and like let's say you're right. Let's just say you're right. It reaches 99. Sorry, Charlie.
Hey, I'll be making profits by that point anyway. I can cut off 20K for Garrett.
But that's the important part why we're buying today.
Cash, motherfucker.
If fucking Bitcoin is $99,000, Ethereum is at least $8,100, maybe $9,000.
Yep.
So at that point, we're telling students, hey, take some fucking money off the table. Yeah, it's going to go higher. It can. Get your principal. This is the thing. Like right now, it's like shooting fish in a barrel right now.
Yep.
Buy the best assets. You're going to win. As time goes on, it starts becoming, or let's get into the new projects. Or like it becomes like, especially 2 years from now, it becomes more of a game of hot potato. Really, and it's a very hot potato because the money's being made fast. So like the for sure money's being made now. The more speculative kind of gambling is going to happen in a year and some change from it.
Yes. Chat room, it is true. Michelle Obama is now plus 700 when she was plus 2,500 when I said what I said on your show, that she will be the Democratic nominee. So the odds are coming down. So obviously the bookies see the exact same thing I saw, but I saw it way sooner. Guys, I know you guys have flight, but I have one more real question. Since cryptocurrency has basically invaded, humanity, and it's a part of the financial system now, we've never had a major war.
Right.
We've never once had a major war while crypto has been basically alive.
Yes.
If the Israel-Palestinian conflict gets out of hand, Lebanon, Hezbollah attacks Israel from Lebanon, then they might go in there. Syria might get in the war. The United States might get in the war. They already have aircraft carrier over there. Iran might jump in. This might be a domino effect, just like World War I. My question is, obviously, no one knows 100% what could happen because there's no examples to go off. But Miguel, let's start with you. What do you think could happen to crypto if we have a major war? Is it going to zero, or is it going sky high?
It's a little of both. So basically what's going to happen initially, we're going to go down in price because everything's attached to everything, right? If stocks will go down, crypto will go down, and then real estate will go down. After that, we'll have a recovery, and then over time. So this is kind of it's both a good thing, but it's kind of doesn't make me feel good about this. But there's kind of this thing where when countries destabilize, a lot of the wealthy and a lot of the people that they end up transferring their money into things they can run away with. So people buy jewels, art, gold, silver, and they get into dollars, and they get into speculative assets like crypto to get their money out of a country. So what's going to happen is if countries are destabilizing, more and more money is going to start getting flooded into the crypto space because it's a way to move money around. And there's going to be, like, whether we like it or not, there's going to be probably if we were in a full scale war like that, there's going to be war financing through crypto.
Yeah, there was a pump off of in February of I think it was, what was that,
2022 when Russia invaded
Ukraine.
There was a pump off of that because there's a lot of people trying to get money out of the country.
That's not a real war.
But no, I'm just saying it's like it's a small microcosm of what could happen. But
that's a proxy war.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is, where does it happen in the 4-year cycle is the main question for me. So the first year of a 4-year cycle, everything is kind of going to the Bitcoin bottom, so there's no trust in anything, right? We already passed that. That was the end of last year. Now we're in the first year of a 4-year cycle, which we're concluding at the end of this year, and that's Bitcoin accumulation. So it's really hard to dunk Bitcoin's price under its realized price, which is about $20,500. So if it were to happen like soon, right, Bitcoin could go down to, I would say, push it down below that price, which is its kind of floor price of 20,500, probably go down to like 18. I wouldn't think it would go below 15,500, which was last year's low. I think it would be kind of like the Corona crash of what we had in March of 2020, where Bitcoin came down to the low of its cycle, but not quite. 3,100 was the low. It went up to 3,800. So we could go down to like $16,000 Bitcoin, right? But then we would just spring back up based on supply reducing on Bitcoin and everybody not really selling.
March 2000, I remember it very well. Bitcoin was at its bottom, and I'm getting phone calls from very, very big whales telling me we want to buy 50 million in Bitcoin, 100 million in Bitcoin. The problem was, even though it was 31,000, no one was selling.
Yep.
No
Exactly.
one wanted to sell at that point. They were actually offering people an extra 1,000 to basically.
On top of the
That's
price.
what they were
Yep.
telling me.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
find people, I would pay an extra 1,000 on top of it.
Yep.
At that point, I was like, okay, we know this is the bottom.
Yeah.
When real rich people start getting into it, we know exactly, because they know what the bottom is all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me end like this, guys. When it comes down to cryptocurrency, do you think this is 100% the future? It's going to replace fiat currency. This is the way to go. Or do you think this is just going to be another tool in the toolbox, like the stock market, like gold? Or do you think at some point crypto replaces fiat currency? Because that's my personal opinion.
Right.
I believe the powers to be want everyone on crypto. They have a whole bunch of cryptos now, but within 10 years, who knows? It might be on a couple around. I believe the Fed's going to come in the game.
Yep.
I believe the Federal Reserve's going to, because I don't see them keeping this petrodollar game working for too much longer, because you can't invade every single country. 20 years ago it was easy. Saddam switched from the dollar to the euro. You go in there, invade, and then Donald Trump's dumbass is like, oh, how come we didn't take the oil? Well, we kind of did take the oil, because we don't care what the oil is as long as it's sold in American dollars. Dumbass.
What's crypto price in dollars?
The price for crypto and dollar.
Pretty much almost all crypto is bought and sold in dollar price.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, what I think is the Federal Reserve is gonna dump the petrodollar system at some point, and they're gonna force people to take cryptos. Now, I don't think that's a bad thing.
I think that's the next 365 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very possible, man, because 2024 could be a great reset. I see that with the numerology and astrology as well, because every single dragon year, 2000 was a reset, 2024. Remember we talked about like when you start doing podcasts, you have a good point, then someone says something and you completely forget what the fuck your point was.
We're getting. I think you were asking me a question. You're asking us.
Yes,
It's early
sir.
in the morning for you.
It's way too early for this shit.
Is it because it's a double dragon year? Because it's like every 24 years, there's like...
No, it's every dragon year comes every 12 years. But here's what I think the Fed's going to do. I think they're going to force everyone on a Fed fiat, on a Fed cryptocurrency, and then they're going to raise the taxes to 5%. Then it's going to be 10. Then it's going to be 15. Then it's going to be 25. Then the communists and the socialists say, pay your fair share. We want 50. We want 75. And at some point, I think the power goes out in the world within a decade, and they're like, wait a second, we can't buy anything with this crypto. All the power is out. And then when all the power gets back on, they're going to start telling people, oh, the cryptocurrency isn't good enough. Now we need to put a chip in people. Watch. That's exactly what's going to happen. Now, when that happens, I'm going to have a lot more gray hairs, but I warned you.
Make money in crypto while you can. Buy assets outside of it that they can't take away, and create your citadel.
Either way, they're going to try to get rid of cash no matter what.
Yes.
You are right. The USD coin is going to come out. The central bank digital currency coin is going to come out. It's going to onboard more people into crypto.
Yep.
But a lot of these cryptos they're not in control of them, but they're buying a lot of the assets underneath them so they can manipulate the price a little bit more. So that's what's going on. So they're getting ready. But because it's not fully, this plan hasn't been realized yet, there's a lot of money to be made, basically. And then as time goes on, we can find ways to kind of pivot away and kind of protect ourselves. But right now, the play is just get as much money as you possibly can right now, so you can choose the kind of life you want.
Sounds like the play all the time, bro.
It's always the play. I mean, that's life.
That's a capitalist move right there, brother. We talked about what we like, but we haven't really talked about what we don't like. And this is where I say hi to my XRP fans. They won the lawsuit, just like I said they would. XRP, a dragon, got sued by the SEC, a dog, and as I said, they won. I also said when it would happen, nothing would change, and that's exactly what happened. Absolutely nothing changed. Am I wrong to think that XRP is one of the biggest scams, if not the biggest scam in crypto?
It's been dubbed as that for a while.
It's been that for like a while. I mean, I mean, what it does is already kind of against what crypto stands for anyway. They're here to onboard the banks. What?
Yeah.
We're here to become our own banks and control our own money. And then they're over here trying to empower everybody, so empower the middlemen to come into the space. Yeah, that's the crazy thing to me.
Yeah, and the tech is actually being used with Ethereum for central bank digital currencies, but that has nothing to do. That doesn't mean Ripple's good and it will go up in price, right? So the speculation on the price versus the actual technology is totally separate, because sometimes people conflate the two and say, oh, because it has great tech, it must be worth something. No, right? The tech is going to be used, but the token, nobody gives a shit about.
You idiots listening to this? See, this is what I like doing on this show. Right. I'm a numerology expert. I don't need anyone's help with that subject. When I talk about holistic medicine, the Hootes in here are paid because they are experts at the subject. These guys live and breathe, and just, like, I'm hanging out with these guys. And I'm like, shut the fuck up about crypto. I want to hear this shit. But here, that's exactly where we're supposed to hear it. XRP, basically another fuck you to you guys. I think you guys are the biggest idiots in the crypto space. You guys are being used like a prostitute. And pretty soon you're going to find out. I mean, you got to be a moron at this point to say XRP is going to do something. It was like $1.80. And now it's what 50 cents, and people keep telling me it's going to go up to 10,000 a coin or some bullshit like that. You must be out your fucking rabbit ass mind, man. Some garbage, man. You know, like I always told people, I thought the Bitcoiners were bad until I ran into the XRP people. You people are out your fucking mind, man. Just crazy. Like their whole identity is about this cryptocurrency.
That's why
go out there and get some sex. Find a woman.
Touch grass. Touch grass.
There you go.
This is why I said it's a religion. It's literally a religion mixed with a stock with a sports team. That's what it is. Yep. Like it becomes like that's their whole life. And the one that I feel bad for some of these people and stuff like. But hey, the thing is, I think it still can make some money here and there.
A fool and the money will always part ways.
Yeah. Yep. But this is why I love crypto so much. But the one thing it does is it gives people hope, because a lot of these people have been like hopeless that a lot of these guys have like, we're just going to be like wages or never actually own a business or never do anything that like to really like, escape the matrix, basically, whatever, LOL. But with crypto, they finally, for the first time in life, see like, wow, if I hold these assets and they go up to this crazy price, dude, I can escape. And it's giving a lot of people hope, and they're falling
false hope.
Yeah, false hope.
Nothing is more dangerous in the world than false hope. Nothing. When the presidential election was going around, and this CIA or NSA puppet Q or Quainon was going around. Remember what he always told people? QAnon. He always told people, trust the plan. Don't do anything. Just trust the plan, because he was giving them false hope.
Yep.
That's what it always was. It was always false hope. And I want you guys to understand how to distinguish between false hope and what is real. Gold is real. Gold has always been real. Most of these cryptos, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, are going to be gone within...
Pets.com.
Yeah. I mean, 90% of the cryptos today are going to be not existing in the next 10 years.
Short Dogecoin. Hi, Musk. What coins do you think we should short?
Ooh. That is a question.
Give us at least one. I know you don't want to do it. Give us at least one.
I think. Oh my god.
I mean, you can tap out. If you want.
Let me. I actually think SHIB. I think SHIB might be a little bit in trouble right now. It's mostly because Elon's kind of shunned Doge right now, and this is kind of taking money out of the meme. Like right now, people aren't really throwing a lot of money into memes right now. So like, I think
all it takes is Elon to make one tweet. Though.
One tweet, exactly. But he's making it about Dogecoin itself. Yeah. If he's going to talk about a coin, basically.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if you have a little bit more courage than this guy.
So I'm gonna give it a little bit of a slightly different twist. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna say the coin that, to answer both your questions, which one would I short and which one don't I like all that much? It's not that I hate it. It's just I don't like it all that much. I would be Algorand.
The fuck is that?
It's just a shit coin that Gary Gensler had once shilled at his what do you call it?
This is not the SEC
MIT
guy.
Yep. Yeah.
So he was showing a coin before
to his MIT students.
Yep. He was showing a coin, and then he became the head of the SEC.
And he now says people shilling coins should go to jail. So, Gary,
interesting.
you know, not you, but yeah, the Gary Gensler.
Yeah, well, he has a 1R. I got 2.
There you go. So, exactly. And so, like, okay, why Algorand?
You know, he's the 33rd chairman, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Wow. A guy named Gary's the 33rd chairman.
So Algorand
with a twin brother,
right? Oh, have you ever seen his twin brother?
I got a better looking wife.
Yeah. The twin brother of Gary Gensler is terrifying, bro. Absolutely terrifying. Like, there's 2 of these motherfuckers. But anyways, okay, so going to Algorand. So why don't I like it as much? Because it generally does not outpace Bitcoin or Ethereum. And I would say any coin that doesn't outpace Bitcoin, Ethereum, any coin that you can't make more money than Bitcoin, Ethereum, what's the point? Yeah. Right? So it's not that I would short it, because I think it will outpace the dollar, right? But if I could short it against Ethereum or against Bitcoin, I would.
All right, let me rephrase that. Give me at least one coin that's going to be dead in the next couple of years.
Give me the coin market cap list.
Yeah, give me at least one, guys.
I can give you like 5.
Just one is good enough. Because every show, it's like, this is going up, this is going up. I want to know what the fuck's going down, too.
Tron.
I could have told you that one, bro.
But
let's go through the list.
Yeah,
but
when it does, when it does, if the thing is with Tron can hold out for a long time. Because like the thing is it's just.
I think it'll stick around, but I think it's just trash.
Yeah,
that's all. It's I guess there's a difference between going away and totally dying and stuff like that.
I want to know, what is the animal dying on the side of the fucking road?
Okay, the biggest one here that's dying on the side of the road is fucking Filecoin, bro.
Oh yeah,
Filecoin. I legitimately have met the people who have manipulated this coin to the Chinese and Japanese miners. So Filecoin, FIL, it's number 32. There you go. Holy shit, this coin is such a fucking scam. It's not even funny. Like, so here's a little bit of the dig on it.
Oh,
right?
Look at those stats.
So the guy who's...
That's a pump and dump, bro.
Exactly. The guy who's behind the pump is a guy who runs Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, right? Barry Silbert.
I've heard that before.
Yep. Yeah. He also runs Digital Currency Group, basically pretty
DCG.
big in the crypto space. Really big Bitcoin maxi or bull or whatever. He has a lot of Bitcoin, right? So he wanted to pump this project up so that he could make some money, dump it down, right? What they did was they had pretty beautiful Chinese and Japanese women selling Chinese and Japanese customers to basically buy into their mining system. So they had to buy these rigs from the company. They had to do all this shit. And then they built it all out. As soon as the coin, like this coin had raised the most money in 2017 without actually coming out with the product. Then when it came out with the product, all these Japanese guys and Chinese guys are like, okay, I'm sold on the dream. I'm going to mine it, right? And then once the mining rigs were able to go online, half of them didn't even work. And like this, like they just sold these guys just a bag of shit,
They
then
sold through prostitutes. Effectively.
Well, yeah,
Sold through prostitutes.
Yes. Yeah.
Sounds like the U.S. government.
right. So yeah, this one I would say, this one's gonna die eventually once the whales they've already made their money on it, so they're just gonna try to pump and dump it here or there, but it's essentially worthless.
ICP is another one.
Yes.
ICP,
yes.
internet computer. That one, I fucking hate ICP. Basically, this was an Andreessen Horowitz A16 Capital pump and dump that they did. Like, they literally ICO'd it for billions of dollars. They cashed, if I remember correctly, I think they must have cashed out $600 or $800 million from it. And then the next day they said, hey, we're announcing a $600 million crypto fund. Then like it's pretty insane. If you actually look into the history of it, it launched at a really, if you go to ICP and go to like
Ripple behind this one too?
No, look at that. Look at that shit. It launched instantly on Coinbase.
My God. That's like someone go down to fight in the first round and just getting rocked.
So they literally just like rug pulled it, right? And it just dropped down. It's only gone nothing but down. And then what they did is the next day after, like within a couple of days of this happening, then Andreessen Horowitz announced, hey, we're doing a $600-800 million crypto fund into new projects.
Yep.
These people must just look at these guys as sheep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just straight sheep.
Slaughtered.
Dude,
I've talked to people who've lost tens of millions in crypto. What are some of the horror stories you've heard? Because you deal with these people more than I do.
Well, I think the biggest horror stories are always like with human error, scammers.
Yeah.
Right? So like whenever there's a thing that says, hey, I'll send me 1 Bitcoin, I'll send you 2 back. I've seen people who've actually sent like $500 to them, They got 1,000.
You know what, man? Hold on, I'm gonna try this on my phone right now. I want to see how these stupid people are.
There's a lot of them, bro.
Send me 1 Bitcoin, I'll send you 3. How about that? I'll even do it in the bank.
Exactly.
I wonder how many people we got.
Dude, it would be sad. You can get a lot. You can get a lot.
There aren't that many stupid people in the world.
See, here's what they do.
Well, then again, why am I surprised? The Democratic voters.
But here's what they do. They send $500 first, and they actually do give them 1,000. And then they're like, from there, then they take a whole Bitcoin and throw it in.
So it's basically they give them a little sugar. Yeah, it's a honeypot operation.
Yeah. I will tell you I'll tell you some coins that I'm excited for right now that I'm actively buying. Mm-hmm. I'm buying Maker. Maker DAO is basically the coin that ends up creating DAI. It's just another stable coin. Basically, what they're doing is they're gonna convert from just a token on Ethereum to an L1. So they're gonna be like a version of Ethereum, a competitor to Ethereum. But what they're doing is they have like $2.5 billion of dollars that they've turned into treasuries, and they're taking these treasuries profits and buying their own coin back. Treasuries. So they're taking so let's just say I deposit $1 million into DAI. I'll receive 1 million tokens. They'll take my $1 million and then go buy U.S. Treasuries, which pay like 5% on 2 years, or depending if they're doing 2 or 10s.
Losing money on inflation.
Yeah, losing money on inflation, but in terms of paper, like they actually are getting buying power to actually buy coins. So, but the thing is, like you gave them the cash, they're making the 5% VIG, but they're going to start paying 3 or 4% back to people. So people are going to be like, wow, I have a stable coin that can actually pay me like 4% yield, and it's legit. It's not like bullshit yield. Holy crap. And then, so I expect like the whole stablecoin market is going to start growing pretty exponentially, because as soon as Maker starts doing this, USDC, because USDC and Tether have been basically like, I think half their balance sheets is treasuries, so they've been like stacking cash. Like if you buy a 2-year bond, right? You put $1 million down, you get $52,000, $52,000 a year for every million that you have in there. These guys have billions of dollars in treasuries and stuff. So they're making hand over fist in terms of profit. So I'm pretty bullish on Maker right now.
And the only thing that's directly correlated to more stable coins coming into the market is Ethereum Bitcoin's price going up. That's like one of the only direct correlations that we have in all of crypto is whenever we have more stable coins in the market, Bitcoin, Ethereum always go up. So like if that's the case, market's going to be doing pretty well.
Market's going to be doing really well. So that's one coin that I'm starting to buy right now. Obviously, I'm really bullish on I'm very bullish on the Pulse Chain ecosystem, Hex, Pulse Chain, PulseX, and maybe what's called a Fame and Famous and stuff like that. But the one thing with that ecosystem is I am sort of doing like a bet, and here's the bet: is that on the 28th, Richard Hart, which is the founder of that whole ecosystem, we're going to see what's going to happen with his lawsuit. And
why the 28th is that's when
that's when
the lawsuit is.
Yeah, November 28th. And so I'm really deep in that ecosystem and stuff. Like if you want to wait until after the 20th, perfectly okay, just to see where things are going. But I'm willing
November 28th this year.
And then I think by January the rest of the crypto market's moving.
He's in trouble. We'll see. We'll definitely see.
He's in trouble based off the numerology. He's in trouble.
Interesting.
We'll keep it at that. Anyways, guys, I know you guys got a flight to catch. Any last words before you want to get out?
Follow us on Dollar Cost Crypto and Cultivate Crypto on YouTube and elsewhere.
I just want to say I've been in this space for almost 10 years. Crypto. I know various crypto personalities. I've been asked to pump up coins. I've been asked to basically shill coins. I've been offered money, all sorts. These are only 2 guys I ever recommended. So it is what it is, guys. This has been a GG33 production. I'm out.
Peace.